RHOBH star Bozoma St. John's home destroyed in La fire. It is gone. Bozoma St. John is the latest victim whose home has been totally destroyed as the Pacific Palisades wildfire rages on. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star shared the devastating news on social media, telling her followers, "It is gone," and asked for prayers for her and her daughter Lael. The single mom also shared some of her favorite memories from her beach house and revealed the blood, sweat, and tears that went into acquiring the property. Bozoma is not the only reality TV star reeling from the loss of their home, as the Hills alum Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag's house was also destroyed. The latest on the California wildfire, dubbed the most destructive in the history of Los Angeles County, is that it's still uncontained, with tens of thousands of residents displaced. Unfortunately, some La residents won't have homes to return to, as the fire has already ravaged thousands of structures, including homes, schools, and commercial properties. RHOBH star Bozoma St. John says her LA home is gone. Bozoma shared several Instagram images of her now destroyed Los Angeles home during happier times. "This is the house I wanted, the house I prayed for, the house I worked in blood, sweat, and tears for," she wrote in the caption. The RHOBH star shared more details about the history of her home and how much it meant to her and her family before noting, "It is gone. This is an unimaginable loss. I grieve with the rest of Los Angeles as it burns. There's nothing that I could say in this moment to describe this feeling," Bozoma continued. "I ask for your prayer for Lael and I." Several Bravo stars, including Andy Cohen, Cynthia Bailey, Katie Janela, and Tamra Judge, have sent words of encouragement to Bozoma in the comment section of her post. We also spotted her castmates, Garcelle Bovath and Sutton Strack, offering their support. Bozoma recently gave a tour of her Hancock Park home. We saw a glimpse of Bozoma's home in a past episode of RHOBH, but if she returns for another season, we sadly won't see the beautiful house again. The property, located in the fancy neighborhood of Hancock Park, was featured on Open House a few weeks ago as Bozoma gave a tour. Much like the RHOBH newbie, the home exudes glamour and sophistication, with eye-popping details, colors, and patterns in every corner, with everything chosen intentionally. Bozoma also had a theme for her abode: love, with the special word hidden inside a unique wallpaper in her living room. "I decided to panel the walls so that when people enter my house, they feel love," the 47-year-old said. Bozoma St. John, the vibrant and trailblazing marketing executive turned RHOBH star, stood motionless outside the charred remains of what once was her sanctuary in Los Angeles. A plume of smoke still lingered in the air, carrying with it the faint acrid scent of burned wood and memories. The sprawling Mediterranean-style mansion, which had often been a backdrop for glamorous dinner parties, tear-filled confrontations, and over-the-top confessionals, was now reduced to rubble. The fire, which had swept through her neighborhood in the early hours, left a wake of devastation that was all too familiar to Californians. "It's gone," Bozoma whispered, her voice breaking as she surveyed the damage. Her typically radiant demeanor was replaced by an expression of disbelief and sorrow. Clad in an oversized coat hastily thrown over her pajamas, she stood surrounded by the charred remnants of her life, a symbol of triumph. For Bozoma, the house was more than just bricks and mortar. It was a symbol of her hard-fought success. From her time as a marketing executive at PepsiCo and Apple Music to becoming Netflix's chief marketing officer, she had carved out a name for herself in industries notoriously dominated by men. When she joined the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, her home had become an extension of her dynamic personality, a perfect mix of sophistication and boldness. Fans of RHOBH had marveled at her chic decor, featuring a mix of Afrocentric art, high-end modern furniture, and a show-stopping chandelier imported from Morocco. The house embodied Bozoma's ethos, unapologetically unique and fiercely personal. The night of the fire. Bozoma recounted the harrowing night to a small group of reporters who had gathered outside the smoldering wreckage. "I woke up to the smell of smoke, she began, her hands trembling as she spoke. "At first, I thought it was a dream. Then I heard the alarms blaring, and I knew something was wrong. I grabbed my daughter Lael, and we ran out with nothing but the clothes on our backs." The fire department's swift response saved lives but could not spare the house. Neighbors later described the blaze as ravenous, consuming everything in its path within minutes. By dawn, the fire was under control, but the damage was done. The support of her castmates. In the aftermath, Bozoma's RHOBH castmates rallied around her. Kyle Richards was the first to arrive, wrapping Bozoma in a warm embrace. "This is just stuff," Kyle reassured her. "What matters is that you and Lael are safe." Erica Jane, known for her icy facade, surprised everyone by organizing a GoFundMe for Bozoma's household staff who had also been affected by the fire. "When tragedy strikes, we stick together," Erica posted on Instagram alongside a photo of her and Bozoma. Meanwhile, Dorrit Kemsley arrived with donations of designer clothes for Bozoma and Lael. "You'll be back to looking fabulous in no time," Dorrit said with a wink, earning a small smile from Bozoma. Rebuilding amid the rubble. For Bozoma, the road ahead feels daunting yet strangely invigorating. "This fire took everything material, but it couldn't take my spirit," she said during an impromptu interview with Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live. "If anything, it's given me a chance to reflect on what really matters." The tragedy has also sparked a new storyline for RHOBH. The upcoming season is set to chronicle Bozoma's journey of rebuilding her life. The cameras captured her first visit to the site with her interior designer, a scene that promises to be equal parts emotional and inspiring. "We're going to rebuild," she declared, pointing to the barren lot where her home once stood. "And it's going to be better than ever." A larger conversation. Beyond the personal, Bozoma has used the tragedy to highlight larger issues. In a heartfelt Instagram post, she wrote, "This isn't just my story. Thousands of Californians lose their homes to fires every year. We need to address climate change, better fire prevention measures, and support for victims." The post went viral, garnering praise from fans and environmental advocates alike. Bozoma's ability to turn her personal grief into a call for action exemplifies the resilience and leadership that have defined her career. Finding gratitude. As Bozoma sifted through the debris, she stumbled upon a single unscathed item. A framed photo of her late husband, Peter St. John. Tears welled in her eyes as she clutched it to her chest. "He's still watching over us," she murmured. Later, in a reflective moment on RHOBH, Bozoma shared, "This experience has taught me that home isn't a place. It's the people and memories we carry with us. I'm grateful for my health, my daughter, and the love and support I've received. The rest, it's just things." Moving forward. Despite the tragedy, Bozoma's indomitable spirit shines through. She's already looking at architectural plans for a new home and brainstorming ways to give back to her community. Fans have rallied around her, flooding her social media with messages of love and support. The loss of her home marks the end of one chapter, but also the beginning of another. If there's one thing Bozoma has proven, both in her career and personal life, it's that she knows how to rise from the ashes, quite literally.